Welcome to episode 91 of my podcast, The View from the Crow's Nest. And the date is Friday, the 4th of September 2020. So, my day, what a day it has been. It's late, I'm going to make this quick. I promise I'm going to make this quick. So I kicked off with personal training session, leg day, thought it was going to kill me more than it did. So I was quite pleased when it didn't, but then my coach said actually it was a kind of an efficient day today, a smart day rather than a hard day. So I didn't feel quite so good after he told me that. But nonetheless, it's, I'm getting in shape slowly but surely, so that's very positive. Had less sleep last night than I had the night before, yet woke up feeling more refreshed. How does that even work? Someone tell me. Then I thought I'd kick off the day after I recovered from my exercise, etc., and had breakfast by focusing on some music theory. So I'm still trying to work through the basic music theory course on groove3.com. Brilliant course. I'm learning a lot from it, but these last few modules, or these last few lessons of the whole thing, are about cadences and modulation and sevenths and things like this, and this is where I'm starting to struggle. Previously, in the earlier part, I kind of understood it, but now I'm really having to concentrate, so I can only do one video at a time, and they're about 10-12 minutes, and I'm actually having to watch them more or less at normal speed as well. That's how much I can't take on board the information. So that's cool, because I'm really pushing myself to learn the music theory and get out of my comfort zone, so that's cool. Then turn my attention to Audience Ninja, to work on my business rather than in my business. So now we've been going about a month. I've got a better, or maybe 6 weeks, but I've got a much better idea, I've got a better idea of what we need as far as the team is concerned, of what skills are lacking and what have you. So I put together a couple of job posts and put them up on upwork.com. So hopefully I've already had 2 apply for one and 9 apply for the other, or 3 apply for one, and I'm sure we'll get some more. And of those, there's already at least one on each side of those job posts that I'll probably take on. So that's really positive, because, if I want to do anything, if I want to scale anything, it's all about getting the team. If Simona and I want to get more done, if we want to really, fulfill our dreams and our plans, then we need more people pulling in the same direction. So it's really important that we get the team going, get more people on board. So that's hopefully really positive. We'll see how that pans out. Then I spent most of the afternoon working on a client's stuff, particularly on a marketing kind of campaign for them. It's the first actual marketing thing that we're going to be doing, so I'm really excited about that, because all businesses everywhere need sales. Otherwise, they're unlikely to last for long. If they're a very commercial business, then they're going to need sales to pay the bills. If they are maybe, let's say, a non-profit or something like that, they at least need sales in terms of people signing up, or if they're a charity, people donating, or in whatever capacity you want to denote sales. But nonetheless, you need traction, you need users, you need people to use the service so you can prove it works, so then you can get funding, whatever it might be. So a lot of, I think I might have said this yesterday, but if I didn't, even if I did, it's worth reiterating. A lot of business owners and entrepreneurs make a crucial error of building something without making sure that they're focusing on actually selling it, getting people to use it. It's actually 20% product, 80% sales. But most owners go for 80%, 90% product, 20% sales. So hopefully we can bring some more users to the client and make things work for them, and that'll be a real big bonus if we can, for them as much as for us. So fingers crossed on that, and that was basically my whole afternoon focused on that. And then this evening I wasn't in the mood. It was like 9:30, but I did manage to pull my ass outside for a point and record the Daily Noodle, my kind of jam guitar playing type thing. And I tried to learn some the minor scale all over the neck of the guitar, but instead of just playing exercises, very much thinking in terms of, say, Victor Wooten. If you haven't checked out his take on music, teaching music, it's exceptional, it's so good. And he would always say, don't just play an exercise, play a groove, put them into practice straight away, learn by doing practically kind of thing. So I took a groove from my song 15 Hours, and because it's in A minor, which pretty much makes it perfect to learn the A minor scale all over the guitar, and noodled about with that. Playing around with that, but also not just playing the patterns, but really trying to think whilst I'm playing what notes I'm hitting. And I know that sounds like a really strange thing to say, but I can honestly say that I still don't know what notes I'm playing when I'm playing them. I've got a few patterns locked in my brain that I know I can play this pattern, like literally a visual pattern on the guitar, because I know that will work, but I'm limited to pretty much the minor pentatonic pattern. If you're a guitar player, you know what I mean. If you're a musician, you might probably know what I mean. But if you're not, then that might not make any sense, but you can look it up anyways. But if you're a guitar player, you'll probably know exactly what I mean. And so I'm trying to not just know the patterns, which is obviously a bit easier to visualize a pattern and play it, but actually know not just what notes I'm playing, but what part of the scale degree they are. Are they the first note of the scale? So if you're playing in A minor, the first note would be an A, because it's A. Or are they the third note, or the sixth, or the seventh? And this is coming from the music theory, as you could probably guess, which I've been trying to really focus on these last few weeks. And I'm trying to understand what I'm playing whilst I'm playing with it, and eventually get to the point where I can improvise and know exactly what notes I'm playing, both for the note and for the scale position, and how it's going to sound against the chord, etc. And that's the ultimate, and that's basically when you get into jazz players territory, because those guys really know their shizzle. So so that was cool. I've just put it up on IGTV and on YouTube. In a few days it will come to Facebook as well, so look out for it if you wish to see what I mean. And that's that. One other little thing to note, I said little thing, I came up with another huge business idea today, or opportunity, and I think it's certainly a 7, quite possibly an 8, maybe a 9-figure business. It's big, maybe even a 10-figure business. And it's a classic case of look what technology is doing, and don't just look where it's going, but look 1 or 2 steps ahead of where it's going. That's the idea that it just came to me today, something, and I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. And someone will do it. There's 100% no doubt in my mind someone will do this idea. So it'll either be me and I'll make a mint out of it, or it'll be somebody else and they'll make a mint out of it. But it's definitely something for the future. All I can say is it's to do with food. Ha! So that doesn't really give anything away, but it's a cool idea. So it's nice that my brain's doing that. It'll be nicer once I've got the team. And I can progress with some of these ideas. And in fact, on that note, there's a guy, you've heard me mention him before, a guy called Daniel Priestley, an entrepreneur. If you're into entrepreneur stuff, if you're into marketing and branding and whatnot, but particularly general entrepreneurship, then I wholeheartedly recommend you read his books, because they are awesome, and just listen to the guy talk, because he's just so bang on it. And he talked in one blog post that I saw on one video, something that really struck home with me, which was that, and I think it's because it's going to be subject to his new book. His book might be called Doubling Speed, we'll find out. But basically, the first 5 doubles of your revenue are the most difficult, but once it hits 5 double, after that, the next 5 are what changes your life. And he goes on, so if you imagine, I don't know, let's say he has particular thresholds, but let's say your revenue is like, I don't know, 10 grand, you double it to 20, you double it to 40, you double it to 80, you double it to 160. I think he starts a bit higher than that, actually, because I'm pretty sure the 5th double takes you to about like 1.2 million or something like that. But basically, the first 5 are really challenging. You don't have the resources to pay other people as much. You don't have the resources, financial resources to bring in, all sorts of stuff, etc. And you're working in your business, and it's quite a slog, etc. But also, once you hit, he was saying, once you hit even $1 million and a half in revenue, I think it goes to 1.6 million. That doesn't change your life, because by the time you've paid your overheads and your staff wages and stuff like that, you actually just take home a decent salary, but probably not that huge a salary. But when you double that for the first or the 6th double and the first of the next 5 doubles, 1.6 becomes 3.2, then obviously you're talking a big difference there, and all of a sudden you basically don't really have to worry about money anymore, and the world is your oyster, and life is a completely different place to be with the opportunities ahead of you. And then I guess, well, that's 3.2 goes to 6.4, goes to 12.8, goes to 24, 25.6. Yeah, obviously big money. And he also made this extra point, which is I've been guilty of, which is if you're the sort of person, which I have done, I confess, who moves from one thing to another before you've achieved those kind of 5 doubles, then every single time you start again on the first rung, you've got to go through all of that pain of setting up, of getting customers and all of that stuff just to achieve the first rung, and then you're looking for the second double and etc., or the first double. So basically, you kind of keep starting at the beginning, and it makes it so much more difficult. Whereas if you achieve those first 5 doubles, then it puts you in a position that you can massively accelerate the next venture, the next idea, the next business, etc. Because you've got resource behind you. Maybe other people are running your business totally, so you've now got time resource. Maybe you've got the money resource from your business that you can invest and bring in other, bring in a really high quality team from the start. You've proved yourself, so maybe you're more valuable and more investable to others, etc. So the idea is to get as quickly as possible to grow that thing. As a tangent, and I'll come back to this point, I was reading about Elon Musk yesterday, and apart from the fact that he's an alien, the guy's bonkers, just bonkers crazy. If you just read his Wikipedia about the companies he not just has founded or co-founded or co-invested or whatever, but he's a CEO and chief designer officer of a bunch of companies as well, including Tesla and SpaceX. Just car and rocket companies. And he's got all these companies. I mean, he's just bonkers. So when you look at someone like that, it's just like, wow. And he's only about 8 years older than me. You just think, well, there's no point in even starting. But Elon Musk and everybody else, and the whole concept of this doubling, it all starts at that first step, and then you double that first step. Everything starts small, one link in the chain, one little bit forward. But the key is to come right back to the crux, is that perseverance, is belief and perseverance and putting in the time. Just as Arnold Schwarzenegger said, everything comes down to reps and time. That's all it is. It's just doing the reps or doing the time. Or maybe said distance. I might have said distance. But either way, it's the same thing. It's the reps. It's just putting in the reps. When everybody else gives up, you're still putting in the reps. So with that all in mind, going back to that idea I mentioned earlier that has to do with food, at least to keep positive, to keep in my mind, I think, okay, bring it right back, baby steps, links in the chain, focus on what's in front of me, make it work, build up a bit of speed, a bit of momentum, a bit of revenue, a bit of resource, and then get more resource, i.e. bring more people onto the team, and speed up and get the next idea going. And so all of these things are possible, but you just got to get the first one to work, because it starts unlocking the second one. And the first and the second might be quite small, but they start unlocking. And that is why, to take it right back to the earlier part of my day, I was so adamant about bringing on board a couple more people onto the team. And at the moment, I mean, this is costing, the wage bill is costing me quite a lot each week. And at the moment, we don't have the revenue coming in to cover it. But I'm so sold on this concept that, without bringing people on and you try and do everything yourself, you're never going to get anywhere fast enough. And I don't want to make that mistake. There's too many projects, too many ideas, too many things that we want to do. And the only possible way to get them done is to bring people on, and is to expand and find work for those people, i.e. bring on clients, bring on customers, etc. So that's the view from the crow's nest today. Wasn't intending on going on that mad entrepreneurial rant or whatever, but hopefully it was of interest to you or use to you. If you got this far, then let me know. Hopefully that means it was of use to you. But come over to Twitter @Romeo Crow, say what's up, and tell me what you like or you don't like about it, etc. And I'll speak to you on there. So thanks a lot for listening to me today. I will be back tomorrow. Don't know what tomorrow brings, but that's half the fun of the fair. And I will leave you with a classic. Toodle pip. Bye.